So I will download this as a, so you can only download it as a CSV. So I'll download the responses and we'll open it up. We'll open it up as the CSV. I like the responses are 70. It's not bad. So, but we'll save it as, more importantly, film pedagogy survey, NOV results. Oops, that says B, NOV results. NOV results, because it's November. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in a place where I can find it later. Research projects, current projects, film pedagogy, and we're going to save it there. And I no longer want to, I no longer want to see that one. Can I open it? Really, guys? You going to play me like that? Oh, it's because I saved it as a, damn, I'm an idiot. Okay. Let's try that again, but in actually going up here and changing it to an XLSS. There we go. This is an interesting set here. Okay, so let's look at this. So one of the questions, yeah, people consented to it. Great. What year is it? Everyone got that one right because they're not robots, right? We don't want robots. All right, mostly female participated, some males, and then one woman. Great. So I will be including this person in that one. Excellent. What is your age? I don't like how Forms does this. How readable is this? This is ridiculous. In any case, most people did not answer whether they were of Hispanic origin, and most people who participated were white. Oh boy. All right. What level do you currently teach? Most of the people who participated were college professors, a couple of 2-year colleges, and a couple of high school teachers. I like that. It's amazing. It's actually pretty good. College instructor, please indicate your level. Okay, so this constitutes 12 people because they didn't answer this question. Okay. Most were full professors. Interesting. How many adjuncts? 3 adjuncts, 6 lecturers, 7 assistant professors, and 16 associate professors. Okay. And of the people that were professors, how many were on the tenure track? And 10 said that, so that's 6 plus 3. So that's somebody who exists in here. Yes. Bachelor's degree, master's level, bachelor's level. Oh, this is doctoral. I'm not even reading this properly. Okay. How many courses do you typically teach in a term? How many? 16. Somebody put 16? Or is this, oh, it's the numbers down here. Okay, so most people do 2 courses per term. Interesting. 3, oh, not most people, sorry, this one's higher. So it's 4. How many years teaching experience do you have in psychology? Wow, look at that. 10. 6 people. That's not bad. That's not bad. I like that. So if you're not familiar with what the hell I'm talking about, so one of my passions right now is talking about movies and its relationship to psychology. So, you know, I asked my colleagues, hey, what do you do with film in your classes? And they said they gave me this, which is great, which is really cool. And what my end goal of this is to write up a little bit of a paper. So it's just an exploratory descriptive study. There's nothing crazy about it. There's not a ton of people that participated, 70 responses, but it's something. It's some place to start, Do you use film in your courses? No. So that means they stopped the survey. So of the 70 people that participated, 60 then went on to finish the rest of the survey. And so this is where the pedagogy, and these are their responses. Documentaries, comedies, drama, comedy, non-fictional, or psychological thrillers. Ooh, primarily documentary, drama, comedy, mostly YouTube videos, TED Talks. Well, that's not helpful. Primarily use film very little. Primarily documentary. Okay. Truman Show, Edward Scissorhands, and American Beauty for capstone on suburbia. Interesting. Before the Flood for conservation psychology. So that's not bad. That's pretty cool. So I got a lot of written responses that I'm gonna have to go through. This is my first half qualitative study, which is going to be an interesting pursuit in data analysis for me, because I've never done a study like this where I had a ton of short written responses that I need to match up. Generally speaking, I'll ask a question like, do you know the hypothesis? And I'll see whether or not people know the hypothesis by doing like a manipulation check or demand characteristics check. And that is the extent of my open response. And generally speaking, most people just say yes or no. When using film for a course, what practice do you engage in? So a lot of people do film analysis. And then for the vast majority, so this was a check all box. So you could choose everything. And so looks like the vast majority of people did include discussions and then forums. And then some people do journal entries, can submit explanations of scenes. So I think that was an other that somebody wrote in. So that's not bad. That's pretty cool. Do you have a purposeful plan around each film? Most people said yes. I mean, if you don't, that's fine. Like 5 people said they didn't. Sometimes they just show the film, which is sometimes it's what I do. Is your use of films embedded in a wider teaching context or frame? And most people do use film to supplement something larger. If you answered yes to the previous question, and these are their responses. So all of these blue responses here wrote something in here, which is great. Films typically cover, and again, this is the more qualitative part of the research that's going to have to be dissected quite a bit. So this is great. This is great. How do you require films to be consumed? A plurality in class and a third fewer outside of class, and then some of them is both. Okay, a couple of boths that I'll need to combine there. Six boths, or either both. Okay, I'm gonna have. There's a bunch of. I think there's a bunch of boths. I'm gonna need to. Yeah, there's a lot of both. Okay. Where did they get access? Library, bookstore, streaming services, personal collection, and then. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to combine. Yeah, I'm gonna combine all of these. Somebody said Plex. That's great. Ooh, YouTube. Uh-oh. Somebody getting films from YouTube? Not good. Who chooses the films? Me. I do, but input. That's cool. Do you use the same films year after year? Most people use yes. Why change up the plan when you have a lesson associated with it, right? Why change it up? So I get that. Do you promote watching films as an curricular activity? This was just an interesting question that I wanted to ask, just on on a personal level. How much do colleagues say, "Hey, you should just go watch this movie because it's great," right? How do you feel films work compared to other teaching resources? Okay, interesting ones that I'll have to go through. Better. I love it. I'm just going to use that in the write-up. It's better. What do you want your students to learn, achieve by watching films? Concepts taught in class are made salient to and relevant to their lives. Information literacy, to see more personal side of the topics we discuss in class. Okay, I like that. What are your impressions about your students' ability to be critical and what they are told and shown in film? Higher than with reading, underdeveloped. Fairly good. Okay. What pedagogical and practical challenges have you experienced when using films? Availability, student lack of evidence-based knowledge, finding the right clips to use, that's fair. Changing website, broken links. Oh, this is some good stuff. Time and access to particular films. Yeah. Please indicate in the space provided 3 to 5 films you have used in the past and for which main psychological topics. Oh. So this is where it's gonna get golden for my podcast. I'm gonna just grab what people have said in here. The fiction films, like 13th is good, but I wouldn't use it in my classes or on my podcast because I tend to use fiction films. But if you haven't seen 13th, boom, you should use 13th. Or watch 13th. It's on Netflix. And then we have the thank you. Yeah, so if we go into Excel here, we have all of the numerical data, and I can plug this into JASP. So we have 70 people. Can plug this into JASP. I can get rid of timestamps and basically get rid of all of this. I didn't mean to insert. Let's delete is what I meant to do. And then I'm going to insert. This is going to be participant. Participant. Part in pants. Pants parts. There we go. Participant number. And then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to highlight that. And I'm going to get my cross here. And it's going to... Whoops. All right. 70 people. Although participant 63 didn't answer these demographic questions, which is, I guess, fine. Somebody did not put their age in. Great. It's generally speaking not helpful, but all right, whatever. Gender. Who put woman? I need to go change that. Where's woman? Woman, you got to be got the Is it person 63? Is that? Because I don't spot them. I don't spot them. I'll make this bigger so everyone can see what the heck I'm talking about. I'm gonna make this bold. That row is bold now. Okay, so maybe this was that person who put woman. Cool. So throw female in there. Don't know their ages. I'm not even gonna try to guess what their age is. So gender. I'm gonna change this to age because I don't need the whole question. This is Hispanic. This is, so right now what I'm doing is some data cleaning. I am going through my data and I am getting rid of the questions from this top row. Okay. Oh, 42 has woman? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I need to delete that other one. Thanks, Robert. I need to delete, I think it was, what was it, 63? Yeah, let's get rid of that because we actually don't know. So, much obliged. Yeah, you can search woman, Robert. You can. I should have, is what it boils down to. That is a lowercase I. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of these questions because when you download this from Google Forms, it's the question itself. And how would you best describe yourself? So this is the main ethnicity question. What level do you currently teach? I'm going to call this one level teach. Too many E's. Level teach. Yeah, buddy. College position is what I'm going to call this one. Okay. And this one's going to be just TT. And it's going to be a yes or a no, essentially. And then some people don't have answers for that. Please indicate. So this one is going to be degree. How many courses do you teach? So course load is what I'm going to call this one. Course load. How many years? Years teaching is what I'm going to call this one. Do you use film? Nah, I'm not going to. And so that one's a yes or a no. And you can see that if they said no, they have no responses here because I had set it up that way. So use film is a yes or a no. So next one is what types of films do you use? So I'm going to call this one genres used. Okay. And I'm using capital letters and I'm combining words, but I'm using capital letters to space words. I could use underscore, and I've used underscore quite a bit in the past. So here I'm just gonna capitalize the first letter of that. So when using film for a course, what practices do you engage in? So this one is practices. You know what? I'll call that film practices. Do you have a purposeful plan? Plan is what I'll call that one. Is your use of films embedded into a wider teaching context? Film wider context. Yeah, we'll call it that one. Why not? That's not bad. That's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. If answered yes to the previous question, please explain. So, film wider. See, here's where I'm going to use underscore. Explain. Oops, plain. There we go. So, essentially the same thing. And some people who said yes did not explain. So, I can see this right here. So, is it part of a wider context? I don't feel like it. I don't feel like explaining. So, that's what it looks like to me. Film consume is what I'll call this one. Where do you get access to the films you use? Film access. Super easy. Who chooses the films? Choose film is what I'll call that one. Do you use the same films year after year? Same films. Do you promote watching films as extracurricular activity? Film extra. Yeah, I'll probably just do that. Film extra cur. So, I mean, it makes sense to me. And since I'm the only one who's going to be looking at this data, probably, I mean, 99% sure that that's going to be the case. That'll speak to me and only me. Like if I were to show this to somebody, they'd be like, "What's film extra cur? What?" So, how do you feel films work compared to other teaching resources? Film compare teaching. I don't know. res. I use an underscore there just because I don't. That's fine. What do you want your students to learn, achieve by watching films? Film SLO. Student learning outcomes. That's what I call that one. Because some people probably put their SLOs in there. What are your impressions about your students' abilities to be critical? So, film critical, maybe. I don't know about that one. Oops, I didn't capitalize. I did not capitalize critical here. Let's bring this a little bit closer to me. Film critical. What pedagogical and practical challenges? So I'm just going to call this one challenges. Film list. Hell yeah. And that, I think, is the end. Sweet. And then the other thing that I suggest doing is creating a code book. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a Word document here. I'm going to drag it over. And I am going to code all of this. So we have participant number, we have gender, age. So gender, give this a title here, Film Pedagogy Codebook. Call it Code Bible. You can do whatever you'd like there. So 0 is going to equal female, not femake. And 1 is going to equal male. Okay. And then we are going to do Hispanic. And that 0 is going to equal no. And then 1 is going to equal yes. And then I'm not going to change ethnicity just because JASP will give me the frequencies, even if they're just written just like that. So if I don't make any changes to them, it'll give me the counts of all of that. So that's good. Level teach. Again, there's frequencies. Yeah, frequencies. I'll just leave that one there. But all of the yeses and nos. So tenure track, TT. That one is going to be the same as all of the other yes and no questions. So use film. That's user film. I don't want user. Plan. Okay. And then film wider context. Copy, paste. Word does not like that I've combined these names, but, tough. Same films. Again, 0 and 1. Yeah, buddy. Hey, Robert, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. And using your eyeballs to spot that woman that I couldn't see in the cell. Okay, so film extracurric. Extracur. Okay, we'll put that one in there as 0 and 1. And then everything else is written. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a find and replace. So go up here to replace. And we're going to find what? We're going to find no. And we are going to match and match case and find entire sales only. And we're going to replace that with a 0. And we'll replace all. 164 replacements. Okay, not bad. Okay. Are you going to let me scroll? All right, fine. We'll just do yes now. And we're going to replace that with 1. And we're going to replace all. A lot of yeses. And we're going to close. Perfect. Look at that. Now I have numbers. And then we're going to replace, and then we're going to do one more for gender. And we're going to replace match. Okay. And then we're going to do female as 0. Because I don't want any, so I do match case and find entire cells only, and that's because I don't want it to find any other text in here that is female, yes or no, or whatever I'm replacing to be replaced with the letter, with the number 0, or male anywhere else in this to be replaced with the letter, or excuse me, with the number 1, right? So I hate that it goes back. Also, you do female first, because sometimes if you do male first, it will replace all of the males and make them FE0, and that's or FE1. So we do that. 20 males in the whole thing. So there you go. We have a bunch of 0s and 1s in here now. Perfectorino. Perfectorino. So good. So good. And got a number of NAs in here, which I'm going to actually delete because I don't need them. And there are plenty of other places where there are empty cells that JASP is just going to have to deal with when giving me frequencies. So it's not a big deal when I open this in JASP. So we are going to save this for now. And I always have the CSV to go back to, because I'm gonna, when I save this as a CSV again, when I save this as a CSV to open up in JASP, it'll be a completely new save. I'll change it from this, which is good. I like that. I like being able to do that. Okay, so is there anything else that I wanted to do? Because no, because everything else is. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to move these over. I'm going to get all of my insert cut cells. Why did it do that? No. Okay. So we're going to undo that, undo that, undo that, undo that. Okay, great. So let's just, if it's going to do that, let's just do that. So we're going to cut that and we are going to put it over here. Insert cut cells, and then we're going to grab these and we are going to cut them, and we're going to insert cut cells. Hooray! We're doing so great, everyone. We're doing so great. Oh, it's because this. Just wrap text. Don't wrap text. Okay. Don't wrap text. Don't wrap text. Don't wrap text. Don't wrap text. Don't. 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 Oy. Goodness gracious. Not entirely sure why it randomly decided to make these wrap text, but let's get rid of them just to be clear. Okay. All right, there we go. So we got the, yep. So all of the written stuff is over here, and all of the frequency stuff is going to go here. So let's save that one more time. And we are going to open this. Or we're going to save it first. We're going to save it as a CSV again. So let's save it as a CSV. And this one's going to be JASP because I'm going to shove it into JASP here. Yeah. You don't like what I did, but that's fine. You don't have to like what I did, JASP. So let's open it up. Computer. Help computer. Dropbox. Research projects. Current projects. Film pedagogy. And this one. Bada bing, bada boom. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah. All right. Open this. Okay. So here we have, and it reads some of the ones with zeros and ones. It reads as fully nominal variables because that was the coding. You know. And the ones with text in them fully are string nominal. So that's why there's a little A here. And then you can clearly see that these are all string level. But trying to do any kind of statistics on these is def's not going to work because they are all different. They are all different texts. They're all the text responses. So JASP wouldn't know what to do with them. What JASP can deal with, though, is if you do have a string variable, a nominal with the A in it, if they are at least all of the same written responses, so if they were like a radio button or something like that, you can choose what that looks like here, and you can still run frequencies on it. So that's what we'll do. Oops. Too many. I just opened a bunch. Yeah, I did. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah? What are you going to show me?
This is a horse rhinoceros.
That's a horse rhinoceros. Why don't you come over here? Why don't you show my viewers?
This is a horse rhinoceros.
Horse rhinoceros. Okay.
The second picture is the Duca dance one.
What is that?
It's a Duca dance.
Duca dance? Okay.
I'll show you how to do it.
Oh, is that what you were showing, Mommy? Nice. Excellent.
And you forgot this one.
Okay, no, I don't think I forgot it.
This is Dad, you, Daddy, baby, Mommy. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Okay, that's it, you, Daddy, Mommy, Grams, Papa, Annie, Kelly, Ollie, and me.
Nice. Okay. Let Daddy finish up his stream, and
I didn't show
we'll say hi. Okay. Thank you, baby. Good job.
You didn't show this one.
I did. That's what we were just looking at.
No.
Yeah, this one. It's showing the green screen.
But this rug come up.
No, thank you, baby. Okay. So here we're going to grab gender. We're going to grab all the way through, which was it? What was it? What do we want to grab? Can't even remember now. Film wider context. Yeah. Gender through film wider context. So I do just Click the first one, hold shift down to click the bottom one, and it grabs everything in between. And so we'll go there and we'll get frequency tables. Plots. We'll do colorblind plots. We'll get box plots. We will get, I don't know if I want to get scatter plots. We'll get distribution plots with density. We'll get pie charts. And the statistics that I want for these, I want mean, median, and mode with the standard error. I want range. I want variance. Just because I can. Let's close this. All right. And this, let's close this one. There we go. All right. So it is trying to calculate the best it can. Come on, computer. You can do it. Okay, cool. I got all of them. Okay, so let's start down here. We have our frequencies. Ethnicity, level teach. Can't give me any of this. So gender here. I could label these 0 and 1. I did not, but this will show you how many I have, and then you can see I have one missing. So in my write-up, I can say there was one unknown gender. Frequencies for Hispanic, the vast majority were no, of course. And then I have my frequencies for ethnicity. And look, it just counted all of the ones that said Asian, all of the ones that said Black or African American, ones that chose the two of them together. So you would consider this person bi or multiracial. We had one Native American or Alaskan Native. And then the other people were white, and then 2 were missing. And I can also use percentages if I want to. Levels of teaching. So we have all of the inputs for frequencies for levels of where this person teaches. So most of the people were 4-year college instructors. 9 were at community college, and 12 were at the high school level, which I think is really awesome. And I made sure that I said, everyone is eligible to participate if you teach psychology. College position. So we have, that. And the bummer here is that we have 12 missing. And I think that's because those are the 12 high school people. So, that works. Tenure track. And so this would be out of the 70, the 21 here are the ones that aren't on the tenure track. So 3, 12, and 6, I think, is what that shakes out to. Yeah, 21. 6 and 12 is 18, plus 3 is 21. Sweet. So that's how that shakes out there. Frequencies for degrees. So we have bachelor's 4, doctoral 51, and master's 15. Comes out. I love it. And then we have our no and yes for using film. So these 10 didn't answer anything else. Frequencies for same films. And so here is the 10 that didn't answer anything, but then one person didn't answer if they use the same films every time they teach. Film, extracurricular. Everyone looks like they answered that question out of the 60, and then there are 10 missing. Frequencies for plan. So do they have a film plan? And so the 10 missing there are the people that didn't answer, that they use film. And then film in wider context, 2 people out of the bunch did not answer that one. So, I've got a little bit of an issue with my distributions, but at least they're there. All right. At least they're there. Here are my plots. See that mostly women participated. Age was in a weird, interesting level here. Vast majority were under 40. My millennials, not the vast majority, but at least the mode was millennial here. And now what I want to know is, what's the average age? Average age was 47. 47 and a half. The median was 47, but the mode was 40. Okay. All right. 23 to 76. Ooh, I wonder just a young teacher, probably a high school teacher, if I were to take a guess. But I could be wrong about that. What else do I have? The tree's making me look like my hair is weird. So here we have the tree. Or here we have the plots. Okay. Count, so not Hispanic, and then this is really not useful. We'd have to expand this. No, it doesn't get any better. Don't use plots from JASP in your writing. It's ridiculous. Okay, we have that. Course load. Most people, that's pretty spread out. These one class of term folks. Ooh. I'd love that. Years teaching. A lot of early and mid-career folks answered, and then a few later career folks answered that. 50 years teaching. That's wild. I've been teaching full-time for 4 years now. I've been teaching in total for 8 years. So I'd probably put 8 on here just to make it make sense to me. Using film, yep. The vast majority used film, of course. Same films, looks like the vast majority use the same films. There's a pretty decent split on telling students to use film as an extracurricular activity. Plan. It always helps to have a plan. Okay, and film in wider context. Yeah. Film in a wider context. I like it. Most people talk about film in a wider context, so that's good. And then these are the box plots. It's the box plots. It's kind of funny. These box plots are interesting. Box plots show the quartiles. We got pie charts for gender, Hispanic. Ethnicity looks broken. Ethnicity looks like JASP can't handle it, which is kind of... Oh, there it goes. I think it's because this is a very long... It's very long. There we go. Just had to make it bigger for it to work. Yeah, mostly white, which is expressed here by gray. So funny. Level teaching. I could make this one a bit bigger, and I think the part of the reason why that's not very big is because this is pretty long. College position. Yeah, so these charts are actually maybe slightly easier to read than I want to say what they look like in Google Forms. Slightly easier, just slightly. Oh, I forgot to get rid of NA. I missed one NA here. So because that's definitely just one person. Let's make this one a little bit bigger so we can actually see what it looks like. There we go. Make it pop, Same film use. Okay. These are good. I like these. I'd probably make the pie charts in Excel just because you have more control over how they look. And like I said, I didn't label any of my yeses and nos in here. So it's I'm at the whim of what the default color scheme is at this point. Like if we look at this one, which has 5 choices here versus everything else, so it looks like, yeah, I mean, these are contrasting colors, I suppose, but making them in Excel would be the preferred way to handle it, of course, So, yeah, there we go. That is the first part of my data. And I'm probably going to close. Let's go back to this and let's turn off responses. no longer accepting responses, which means I have to determine a winner for the drawing that I had, which was for a gift card. So I gotta do that, and that is some data cleaning and looking at some descriptives. So I was recording a little bit. I was recording just the screen in OBS in an instance of OBS, so I can create a video out of it, and maybe a couple of videos for my YouTube channel to sort of help with naming and data cleaning and some data changing, some coding that you can do very quickly, saving in Excel, so I can sort of maybe streamline it a little bit more in the future. I sort of wish I had some variables that I could like take averages of, but again, this is 100% a descriptive study. I was just trying to get the lay of the land, I would say, so to speak, because sometimes I know a lot of people use films in their teaching, but anecdotally. And so the reason for doing this kind of study was to sort of put a number to the anecdata that I had, put a kind of sense of what it was that I was looking for, what the sort of the lay of the land, I guess, something like that.